Hello and welcome to this Inspiration Clan video tutorial. In this lesson I'm going to give you an introduction to the Photoshop workspace, explaining what each section is and what each section is used for. So let's jump straight into Photoshop. Now the first thing I'm going to do is just look at the menu. So the menu's up at the top here. So on the very left we've got File. Now in here there's all the options for your documents. You've got Open, New, you've got Save. Also various options at the bottom here. Next you have Edit. Now Edit is editing your actual image and your document, so you've got things like fill, cut, copy, etc, etc. Image, this is where all the image edits are held. All of these do have shortcuts, so in all the menus you'll see on the right hand side there is a little shortcut, so become familiar with shortcuts, it speeds up your workflow. So image, you've got all image adjustments such as levels, curves, exposure, vibrance. Next we have layers. Now everything you need related to layers is in here. Type, to do with type. Select, now select is if you make a selection in Photoshop. Now select is related to that selection, so we can do things like modify that selection, expand and contract that selection. Then we have filters. Now filters are advanced tools, if you like, in Photoshop to create special effects or unique effects. And you have 3D, related to everything 3D. View, now in view we've got everything related to sort of the layouts. We've got zoom in, zoom out, you've got your rulers in here, things like that, snap to and guide. So view, very helpful. Then in window you've actually got all the different palettes, different windows that you can actually have. So a window or palette being one of these. So this is a color window and palette. This is the swatches window palette. Then we've got the layers, the channels and the path. So for example, if I come up to window and I click brushes, you'll see the brushes palette will appear. Now what we can do with any of these, we can just click these little 4 lines, this burger menu, and we can just close that tab group. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to close that out, and then what I'm actually going to show you is how we can arrange these. So you can click on any palette and drag it, and then you can put it in to create groups. So you can create groups as you like to arrange your workflow, create a custom workflow. So I'm just going to close some of these out. So close tab group, and you can see here we've got our layers, channels and paths. Now I like to have the layers, channels and paths open so we can see all our layers available. So here I'm just going to go over and close out the color, and I'm going to close out the libraries, and you'll see by doing so we've reduced the space required, so we have more space for the actual active image. Now this is a workflow that I like, and you'll see this very commonly within Photoshop. Next we're going to come over to the left hand side, and we've got our tools palette. Now here you will find all the tools within Photoshop. Now you can click little buttons here to the expand button to put them side by side in 2 columns, or you can have them in one. I prefer to have them in one, again, so you can have more space in your active window. So as we click on these tools as well, you'll see the tools options bar will change. So each tool has specific options. These options are displayed up here in the tools option bar. So there you go, that's a sort of basic layout. You've got some more advanced things. So in each document, let's just close that, so we were on cut. Let's just go back to select. You've got down here, you've got a few options for the document details. So if we click this little arrow, we can actually look at some more settings, some more options to see information about our current document. Then we actually have our active image, which I've mentioned a few times already, which is our actual image we're working on, if you like. And we have various different layer options as well. Now I'm just going to mention those because we've changed our layout, if you like, to have this large layers palette visible. And at the bottom down here you have a lot of options such as adjustment layers, you've got new group, you've got new layer. So these options down here are very similar to the options you'll find up in the layers menu. So there we have it, a brief rundown of the Photoshop workspace. There's lots to take in, but when broken down, the workspace is logical and easy to use and navigate. We'll look at customizing the interface in future courses and how you can speed up your workflow with custom workspaces, all in good time. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. I will see you in the next course.